Happy Saturday, friends. I am getting ready to go to New Orleans for the Black Ink Book Festival. It is my first out-of-state book festival. And I'm a little nervous, but then I'm excited to share Mr. Vernon's story with people that I don't know, because a lot of the people who have purchased my book are familiar with Mr. Vernon's story. So now I'm taking it to another state. And so I'm a little nervous, but I'm looking forward to sharing his story and meeting some other authors. Hello friends, it is the day after the Black Ink Book Festival. I'm tired, but it was a wonderful experience. But let me tell you, I learned a lot. So let me share with you 6 things that I learned from my first out-of-state book festival. I have some notes here that I'd like to share with you because I don't want to miss a thing. So the first thing that I learned was have a variety of products with different price points. Let me tell you, I have planners, I have journals, I have my writing book, I have my fiction picture book, Nightmares in the Little Poster Bed. But did your girl have any of those? No. I don't know what I was thinking. But let me tell you, when I walked in and the authors had all kinds of merchandise and books and products, I was in awe. I was only focused in on my one book, never thinking to take all of my books that I currently sell on Amazon. And then to walk in there with just one book, I didn't know. So I want to tell you that when you go to your book festival, if it's your first book festival or your 5th book festival, make sure that you have plenty of products at different price points, because someone may not want to spend $20 on your hardback book, but they might buy a planner from you. So make sure you have a variety of products and merchandise. Okay, friends, so my second tip is don't be shy to talk to other authors about their indie author lives. Now, this was my first out-of-state book festival. Let me tell you, that morning I had the jitters, and I don't know why I was so nervous, but I was nervous. And even once I got there, I really had to push myself to go around and talk to the book vendors around me. I think it would have been better, now that I'm looking back on it, I should have walked around and talked to as many indie authors as I could to learn more about their books, their indie lives, and I probably could have learn some things that would help me in my journey, because my journey is still new. And so I'm going to urge you to get out of your comfort zone and go and talk to the other indie authors, because I think that will help you in the long run. Now, my third tip is from my husband, and he said, have a better way to transport your books into the venue. Now, we have these plastic containers over there where we can walk in and handle them. But when you have, 4 different containers, then you're going back and forth to the parking lot. So he noticed that a lot of other vendors had collapsible wagons. And so I think that's on his list, to get a collapsible wagon to transport your books and your merchandise into the venue so you're not going back and forth. Someone else had a dolly, and it wasn't one of the big dollies. It was more like a little collapsible dolly, and they loaded their books on the dolly. So that's another idea. You want to make life as stress-free as possible when you're trying to move your merchandise in and out of the book festival venue. My fourth tip is, I didn't realize that there are a lot of indie authors out there doing amazing things. I was so impressed at the books and the displays. You know, I really love that Kindle Direct Publishing and other publishers are allowing creatives to live their writing lives. And it is just so amazing. You know, we can say a lot of things about Amazon, and there's some good things and there's some bad things, but I really love the fact that they allow writers to be able to publish their work, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, you know, with different platforms like Fiverr, where you can find people to help you at a reasonable cost. And so then KDP allows you to publish your book and sell your book. That is just amazing. So I really love that about Amazon and Kindle Direct Publishing. They are making dreams come true, whether you believe it or not. They're making dreams come true. There was an older couple there. She's the author and he is the illustrator. And let me tell you, they had it going on. They had almost like a whole publicity team to go around and kind of tell people about their books. And the display was amazing. And they sell their books on Amazon. And so they're making dreams come true. You know, these two older people are creative and they're living their best lives. So I really love that. And I was able to see that by going to this book festival. So it was a really great experience. So my fifth tip kind of ties into the other one. And it's, don't be afraid to go around and tell people about your books and your products. There was a young lady, she came around and she gave me her card that talks about her book. And she was just so nice, and she came up and she talked to me about it. Now, did I do that? No, but this will be something that maybe I will do in the future. And also, there was another young lady who has candy, and she came around with her business card, a little flyer that talked about, with a coupon that talked about her candy, and she had it in this package, and she just went around to each book vendor and talked about, just gave you a little sample of her product. What great merchandising idea that is. But let me tell you, I met some other great authors. This young lady, she was near me, and I did get a chance to talk to her, and she had a beautiful bookmark to match her book. That was just amazing. Another retired teacher had this beautiful coloring book that I purchased, and it's just so beautiful. And so I was so happy to be able to meet some other authors, but I need to do more. So get out of your comfort zone. Don't be like me. Get out of your comfort zone and get out and meet people and tell them about your creative life and the books that you're publishing and the merchandise that you have. Now, my sixth tip, my last tip is, have a Wi-Fi backup. If you use Square or some other device to take payments, have a Wi-Fi backup. Now, we had a Wi-Fi backup, and they had Wi-Fi in the building, but I don't know if it was just so many people in there that the Wi-Fi was very weak, and so Philip kept trying to get our Square to work so we could take credit cards and debit cards. And I mean, it was hard the whole time, and we really weren't able to take any credit cards. And we had purchased a Wi-Fi device, but it didn't work. So we might have to return that because it was very disappointing. But I had Cash App on my phone, the Cash App, and I had Venmo, and I had PayPal. So it worked out without any problems, but we'd really like to avoid that in the future and not have those kind of issues, because that makes it a little stressful. But overall, it was a great experience. This was our little exhibitor card that was, very nice. It was a class act. It was in New Orleans at the Two Sisters Pavilion, and I'm looking forward to going next year, but I'm going to be ready. And so I wanted to share these tips with you so you don't have to, go in there and make the same mistakes that I did, but you can go in there and you can be ready. Now, as far as our sales, we didn't sell as many books as we wanted to, but we still, we were able to make some sales, but we also made some connections. There were librarians there, and so from Louisiana, so I'm going to be reaching out to those librarians because they said they would be interested in carrying my book in their library. So I will make sure that I reach out to them this summer and try and make some things happen. But overall, I recommend going to book festivals. I'm looking forward to some more book festivals. Our goal is to try and do maybe a book festival a month. We'll see. You got to get out there and do something. But right now I'm working on getting my Shopify store off the ground. Joanna Penn, an author that I follow, her podcast, she says that indie authors, if it is at all possible, try and have your own store online. So I'm working on getting my Shopify off the ground, and I can assure you I will have more than just one book in there. I'm going to have all of my books in there because I want the store to be successful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to sharing more of my author journey with you. And I just want to encourage you to keep being creative, keep writing, and keep loving life. Bye, friend.